What would Jim do? Huh? What wouldn't Jim do? Jim does a lot of really, really questionable things. But you know what? It's fun to be strangely questionable. This also kind of relates to the idea that I've been sort of sticking around a little bit about this idea of the marketplace of ideas and the reverence with which we hold the marketplace of ideas. And it's actually, I think, the concept of the marketplace of ideas is a really apt analogy for what we're looking at when we're talking about this. So the concept of is that ideas all don't have the same merit, and they should be able to be publicly scrutinized and stand on their merits or fall on their merits, which is a perfectly reasonable concept. And if you think about that in the terms of a marketplace, and you walk in and there are things that you can buy and they're all over the place, and you should be able to look at those things and be like, hey, this one is good. I will do that. I will buy the thing because it will be good. That's how marketplaces work in imaginary land. In the really real world, marketplaces work like this. You walk in, you see all of these things, and they're all marketed at you in varying ways to varying degrees of effectiveness, and you purchase things based on what little you understand about them. So if you walk in, let's just say you're buying a personal gaming system. Question for chat: which is better, Xbox or PlayStation? I'll let you have a second to answer. PS4 for life, Xbox, fuck Xbox. Stupid fucking hell, Xbox is the devil. Ain't nothing free, PlayStation. Okay. I've established my grand metric here. So what we're saying is it's all personal choice. There's probably not a substantive difference that uniquely would make Xbox or PlayStation the superior system. It depends entirely on A, what you've heard, B, what you've experienced, and C, your personal interests in choosing a gaming system. So some might prefer a lot of people they know are on Xbox Live versus no one they know has a PlayStation. So then you would get an Xbox. Other people, there are unique things about the system that would sway you one way or the other. All perfectly reasonable answers. If there was a third system called the Smegma box, and you've never heard of it, but it turned out it was the superior system, you wouldn't buy it because you just wouldn't know anything about it. It's just that there it says Smegma box, and you go, oh, that's cool, there's a new one. But I'm getting me my Xbox because I want to play me some Shitcraft 920. I don't fucking know. I don't play video games. But this is the point that I'm making is we walk in to our marketplace and there are ideas and we only know a little bit about them, and we see all of the spin and all of the media and all of the hype, and that sways our opinions much more than the merit of that object. So based on that concept, like, what happens when you have a bad product and you build an effective marketing campaign for it? But you're saying to yourself, but Jim, that could never happen in the marketplace of ideas. But I assure you, it does. And the best example is the alt-right. They have a shitty product. It is a shitty product because it is stupid and narrow and pathetic and awful and just needs to not ever be a thing. But they have spent a very long time. The days of the Nazi skinhead walking around beating people up are long since over. So instead, they have come up with ways to frame things and to talk about things in different ways and go, oh, but it's not about hate. We for example, Asians are doing great and we're okay with that. Probably not. We're okay with it because there's some science there. There's no science there. None of this is scientific. It's all about trying to find a million different ways to provide a million different thoughts that change your perspective so that the terrible thing looks better to you. I've made a couple of ethno-state comments today. The argument is always like, it's not that I think that people should not exist. It's just that why do they have to exist around me? Why is that so terrible? They don't want to live next to me. So why do I have to live next to them? You don't. But there's a difference between I don't want to live next to somebody and I want to establish a section of land where those people will be murdered. That's there's probably a pretty strong difference between those two things. Particularly when we're talking about fucking North American land, because it's not yours, dude. It's not mine. Fuck's sake. When are we gonna learn this shit? So yeah, the whole marketplace of ideas, I actually value that as a reference point because I think it's a really good way of looking at it. We are bad at figuring out what is a good product. We are bad at understanding the various nuances. And this isn't new. Like, look at Mormonism. If Mormons walked up to you, knocked on your door, you open the door, and they're like, "Okay, guess what? We're all about plural wives. Dark people don't actually have souls, but now they do because of the revelators. And also, we're pretty sure that Jesus flew to America and that when you die, you get a star if you're a dude, and you get like a whole bunch of space whores." You would close the door. You'd be like, that is the most laughable thing. I don't care how many money dollars you have or how many children you have who are all really good academically. It doesn't matter to me. You are an idiot and I don't need to buy your story. But instead, they come and they talk to you about community values. Community values, man. Like, you know what? You don't even have to believe. We're dedicated to the community. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You don't have to do anything. I noticed your lawn, it's a little bit off. Can we mow that for you? We won't even talk to you. We won't even talk to you. We'll just mow your lawn. That's part of what we do for the community. And you go, wow, fuck yeah, I got a free lawnmower out of this. Sweet. Okay, thank you. And at the end, they're like, hey, yeah, we got your lawn mowed. Would it be okay with you if we just said like a quick prayer? And you're like, well, that can't hurt, right? And they're like, oh, no, it can't. Oh, it's a quick prayer, Jesus. See, we're all the same. And then they walk away. And a couple weeks later, they pop by and they're like, I couldn't help but notice your aluminum siding needs to be replaced. We would like to replace your aluminum siding. And you go, wow, these people are fucking amazing. They're so good. And they're like, yeah, we believe in community. We believe in the broader community. We believe in family. We believe in helping each other out. That's what we're all about. That's what Mormonism is. And you go, what a fucking interesting thing. And they're like, can we tell you a little bit about it? You don't have to listen. You don't have to care. But, we're here while we're doing the work. Do you mind if I just, and it just fucking grows from there. And this is the same way that the alt-right works. It starts with sitting on mommy nets and sitting on fucking, every possible environment with little tiny little hooks. And the little tiny hook gets a little tiny fish on it, and they pull a little bit, and then that is a bigger fish, pull on a little. It's just a thing. You guys are all still talking about Xbox, aren't you? Nintendo will always be my thing. First console was an NES. For me, my first console was called, I believe it was called a Gemini, not Genesis. I think it was a Gemini, and it was a clone of the Atari 2600, which was much more expensive. Played all the Atari games. Allegedly played ColecoVision games, but I don't know if that's true. And I was able to buy it with money from my paper route. All of these things don't exist anymore. There is no such thing as the Gemini. There is no such thing as the Atari 2600. There's no such thing as kids having a paper route. It's an uglier world. First off, I want to say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. Thank you to my patrons that support me on Patreon. I am a little streamer, and these people are all really awesome for supporting me. Thank you to I Am Canadian. Special huge thanks go to my one prophet, Shithead Dave Anderson. And of course, my final tier of supporters is the Gods. This tier is the most expensive and likely to never have any members, but Patreon really told me I should have one, so it's true, I guess. There are no gods. I try to put up stuff at least once a week, and I live stream every Saturday at noon Mountain Time on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, like an old man. Again, thanks for watching, and have a kick-ass day.